Hi there, Shami Majaz here. Expectation of students and supervisor are very important and significant steps to understand just to avoid any type of conflict and confusion. This talk aims to encourage postgraduate and postdoctoral researchers to reflect on their expectation from their research supervisors and to take proactive steps to improve and maintain a positive professional attitude in their research degrees during their research project. It will encourage the listeners to think about their expectation of their supervisors as well as supervisors' expectation of them. In this connection, first of all, we need to understand the learning outcomes. Learning outcomes are very simple, just to understand the expectation of a student and supervisor relationship. Second is to build a positive and informed professional relationship with your supervisor. What can you expect from your supervisor? Each university will have guidelines outlining the responsibilities of you and your supervisor. They vary from institution to institution, but in some countries will be based on those published by the Quality Assurance Agency. The Quality Assurance Agency is an independent organization with responsibility of ensuring and safeguarding standards in higher education. In some universities, formal signed contracts specifying obligations toward each other are exchanged. This has the advantage that right from the start of the project, you are fully aware of each other's expectations. In others, a list of the expectations are provided and some will provide no guidance at all. But in generally, what you can expect from your supervisor, there are a few qualities. For example, the first and foremost is knowledgeable and expertise in subject. Normally, you would expect your supervisor to be an expert in your field. Bear in mind that if your research changes direction, then this may no longer be the case. If this happens, you might need additional supervisor from someone with the appropriate subject. Second one is interest and support. Obviously, you want your supervisor to take an active interest in your progress. If you show real enthusiasm for your research, then your supervisor is more likely to maintain an interest in your project. You can also expect your supervisor to be open, honest, and supportive. These characteristics are all important for building trust, which is essential for any good working relationship. But supposing isn't just about hand-holding. Some of the best supervisors are those that really challenge their students, question their assumptions, and make them consider topic from a new perspective. Another most important thing is availability. Your supervisor should ensure that they are available to meet with you regularly. They should also endeavor to create an atmosphere in which you feel comfortable discussing your plans, ideas, and problems. A meeting should be a healthy exchange of views, not an argument or a mini lecture. Administration. There will be time when you will need your supervisor's help to deal with administrative tasks and paperwork. For example, your supervisor may have to sign certain official documents. You can help your supervisor by ensuring that your paperwork is completed correctly and on time. Don't forget that some documents take time to read through. It is unreasonable to turn up to a meeting and expect your supervisor to sign off some instantly without looking through it. Bear this in mind and then ahead. Feedback, one of the most important responsibility of your supervisor. Your supervisor should provide constructive feedback on your work. This will allow you to improve your performance. They should also give you timely and appropriate feedback on documents as your thesis or chapters or project, anything. Remember that your supervisor is a busy person. You need to allow them plenty of time to go through your work. It is a good idea to ask them at which stages they want to look at a document. Would they rather review it chapter by chapter, or do they just want to see the finished project? Agree on a realistic deadline which suits you both. We already have considered what you can expect from your supervisor. It is only fair that they have expectation of you. Some universities will have a formal contract of expectation that you both sign. Other will provide a list of expectation and others no guidance at all. We already discussed. If in doubt, ask your supervisor specifically. The following six qualities are your responsibility as a research student. Organization. Take responsibility for planning meeting in order to ensure a successful outcome. Turn up on time with all the relevant information so that you can focus on what you want to get out of the meeting. Don't underestimate the importance of meeting deadlines. Late submission of PhD and end of grant reports can affect your supervisor's future funding. Your supervisor may expect you to do some work at short notice, but if this is a problem, then you should discuss the impact with them. Another is honesty or openness. Building trust is two-way process. You should be open and honest with your supervisor. Tell them about any problem that might affect your work, whether professional or personal. It is in your best interest to make your supervisor aware of any specific need you have or any difficult circumstances you might be facing. They might be able to help you. Another thing is attitude. If you are not enthusiastic about your research, then why should your supervisor be? They will be more likely to help you if you show a positive attitude to your work. However, don't confuse quantify with quality. Work hard, but recognize the need to achieve a good work life balance. Your supervisor should recognize this too and should help you if you are feeling under pressure. Another is integrity. Conduct your research ethically and with integrity. You have a professional responsibility to discover and disseminate truthful, original work. If your research involves human participant on animals, then you must have the appropriate training or legal documentation. Be aware of institutional regulation that could affect your project. Check these regularly to make sure you have the most up to date information. Another one is the safety. The law states that you must not endanger yourself or others at work. It also requires that you have a safety induction when you start your project. Risk assessments will be required before you start your research. For some types of research, specialist training may be required too. Another important thing is action, taking action. Your supervisor will expect you to put their suggestions into action. Remember that they have a lot of experience and will expect you to follow their advice. Sometimes you might feel that your supervisor is wrong. If in doubt, ask for the reasons behind the decision. Conversely, you also need to demonstrate that you can think of for yourself. You are being trained as an independent researcher and you need to show initiatives. It's really very important to be reflective, to be mindful about your responsibility.